Welcome everybody to the April 6th Ortelius Outreach. Um, I will get started real quick. I switched over, so I took down our old version of Ortelius on the Deploy Hub GKE and replaced with the latest version and went through and updated all the documentation and the website. Utkarsh did find some broken links because as part of that, I moved, archived a bunch of the repos just to get them out of the way. Um, so right now, let me share my screen real quick. And GitHub Ortelius. So right now, the main repo is this PDVD backend. It's a terrible name. And Tracy, I heard last week you were talking about like Gartner maybe renaming some stuff.
Yeah, but
Um,
not to that.
yeah, so I'm trying to decide if I should rename this repo just back to the Ortelius repo. Because there
Whatever's
is,
simple, Steve, for so people can find it. Because what uh, Nate is working on, he was saying that it's hard. It's not getting the Ortelius repo is harder to pick up in searches.
yeah, I'm trying to remember what there's an org out there with the old version of stuff. Um, but basically what I can do is I could do two things. I think um, I should rename this back. So this is the back end that has most, all the heavy lifting's done here. And the architectural diagram and all that stuff is off of this repo. So I think I should rename this repo back to Ortelius. We have the 17 issues, like the current issues that we're working on. The other repo, the older one, had a couple hundred, I think like 300 issues in it. And I can, if we want those old, like that old history, I can do some Git magic and bring those over uh, to maintain that history. I'd prefer to just go forward without having all the history. But what do you guys think on that front?
I don't know if history's bad or good, but I hate to lose some of the history in case anybody's looking through our repo right now, considering the potential changes that we might make.
Yeah, so I could do some Git magic and some GitHub stuff to uh, get that history out there. So we'll have the old
Yeah,
issues out there.
right, right. Just show that because if you don't see it, if it's not exposed, and it looks like we're new.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Let me do that, and also, I think it'll bring our stars back across as well. Um,
Yeah, we don't want to lose those stars.
okay,
That took us way too much work to lose the stars, and especially right now, we don't want to lose the stars, considering we're looking at moving to the Open SSF.
yeah,
That would be bad.
yeah. I will. I just noticed that the stars got reset, so let me do that. And that would fix most of the issues that I'm running into with the broken links. So we have like 51 broken links. Um, One of them that I'm running into is Sasha on your Raspberry, how to bake a Raspberry Pi. Um, this Gimlet IO
Mm.
has gone away. That project doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, they've replaced he's replaced it with something else. Yeah, and that's why I need to do a nice a full-on overhaul of a lot of those articles. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so if we look at our site, if we go to the blogs, um, we have a lot of older, like, the XRPL stuff, old architecture, some other,
Well, Steve,
these.
we can archive those blogs, the older blogs. I would rather
Okay.
take the blogs down than to mess with our GitHub repo and lose the stars.
Yeah. So let me go through and clean up some of these older, um, blogathons, and we have some old Emporis stuff out here that's breaking as well. So I'm going to do a cleanup on the blog
Yeah,
front.
yeah. Clean up the blogs. Try not to touch the repo right now.
Yeah.
That works. I really, really, the repo's too critical at this moment. We need that history. We need the stars. We need all that stuff.
I
Yeah.
can go and clean up my blogs for you, Shen, and you don't have to do it. And you got tons of other things to do.
Um,
It is. So let's just chat about blogs for a minute. We are in the thick of the blogathon. Steve and I wrote the first two blogs. So yes, Sasha, it would be great if you just took your the blogs that you have and clean them up, and
Yeah,
then just change the date on them. So
yeah,
they're new. So
yeah. Then you guys
that
don't
would
have to
be
do that because you guys
yeah,
got
that
lots
would
of
be
other stuff to
great
do.
because that's like six blogs, right?
Yeah, I did a lot of blogs and I can go through them and check for you, and then you guys don't have to do it, man. That's just too much. It's just, yeah, I can do that. You got
Okay,
loads of other
super.
things to do. Yeah.
Okay, updating his Raspberry Pi.
And I started writing the one for my AI setup, which I'll also add to the blogathon. Yeah.
and Sasha, if you just want to, on how to bake the Raspberry Pi, if you just want to, uh, we can just basically start fresh on that, so you don't
That's
have to,
fine.
whichever is
Yeah,
going to be
sure.
easier. If you want to do, you're working on the AI one. If you want to do I think the AI one's more important than the your
Okay.
current Raspberry Pi setup.
Yeah, sure.
So I would say if you do the AI one, and then we circle back around later this summer
Yeah,
and do the your Raspberry Pi setup, because
Well,
yeah,
he's
sure.
got 2 months, and I don't think there's that much work on the Raspberry Pi stuff. So Sasha, you just figure out what works best for you. If we can get
I
it
want to do
done
what's
by Yeah, if we could get it
what's
done
best
by
for Ortelius.
June. Yeah, if we could get it done by because we're running the blogathon goes till June 1st.
Okay. So you just want all of those done by then?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, let's just
perfect.
yeah. And if anybody out there has a blog that you can update and resubmit, that'll qualify. It'll bring it up as a new blog in the list. So quickly, let me just show you what the goal of the blogathon is to get new content out there. So if you go to, let me quickly jump over to Ortelius and share my screen. All right.
While she's doing that, Jing, you had at least one article you published on, was it Medium recently?
Yeah, it was about AI and the agile project management, though.
Well,
That works for
I,
us.
Do you
I
think
don't
so?
know
Because
that
it's not security related, and that's I'm not quite sure.
Well, I think if you take, I think we should be pushing security related blogs. I do. I think that is really what we
okay.
want. So if you've got some thought, so I wrote a couple on AI security. I think a good blog would be to do one on the kinds of threats, post-deployment threats that AI is creating. You could do one alone on prompt injections.
Okay.
So here are the blogs. So we have, these are all done by year. So here's the blogs for 2026. We have the Blogathon blog, we have Steve's AI automations for secure dependency fixes, and my wife post-deployment endpoint, which we both published April 1st, and actually mine should have gone out April 2nd. I didn't change the date. So we have just two blogs for 2026, so we need more. We had quite a few for 2025, but we're kind of behind right now what we were posting in 2025. So the blogathon is really to get some new content out there, because I try to drive people to our website, but without new content, it's really hard. We do have a lot of old blogs. So this is the old stuff that Steve's talking about getting rid of. So if we go back to here, we're talking about 2020. So I think Steve, what you could do is we could just really go out and archive any blogs that are, say, older than 2023.
That's
So
what I was
here's
thinking.
20. Yeah, so this is all about the XRPL bounty GitHub setup.
Yeah.
So unless there's something that was really kind of essential. So Sasha's Raspberry Pi ones are not that old. They're just 2 years old. But updating them because we're trying to cater to platform engineers, that's why I'm kind of pushing to say let's not. They're really good blogs, and they take you through quite a journey. So I would love to keep them fresh. So yeah, so like this one, we're looking for a few good blogs. That was for the blogathon in 2024. So I think we can take some of those out, and that'll clean up some of the broken links on the website. So the other thing that we have right on our heels is SecureChainCon. Here is the new image I've been working on. So I just want to get some feedback. Let me share this with everybody. Now let me just do this just so you can look at it right now, not have to hunt it down. Put it in the chat. Okay, so here is the new kind of description. Run free, run safe, defend post-deployment in the age of AI is what we talked about last time. I did the image where it looked more like the dawning of a new age kind of image. I thought those colors worked well for our logo in the sun coming up over the earth. Kind of goes with our current theme of everybody being excited about Artemis going to the moon. Here is the description. You take a look at it, give me any feedback. So Steve mentioned some new terms that are coming around. We are now in a area of product that the Gartner analyst is calling CSTEM or CTEM. And they call it continuous threat exposure management. So I'm going to start using that term and float it around on our website in places. And you might want to think about starting to use that term in any blogs you might be using. So, for example, if you're talking about prompt injection, it would be hard for us because we haven't done anything. But if you're talking about vulnerabilities in general, you can start using how important it is to continuously manage and follow CTEM, frameworks. So take a look at this new area that Gartner's trying to push, and you'll see that we do a pretty good job of fitting into that category. They actually reached out to me because obviously they're trying to sell subscriptions to Gartner, which is really expensive. But they said that they thought we fit really well into this new category. Oops, I should have made this. I have a section on why to attend. And the only section I haven't finished is who should attend. And I'll take that from last year's. So I'm going to try to get this out over the course of this week. So if you are so inclined and you want to take a look at the messaging for the blog, please let me know. I've started a sessionize. This is our call for speakers. I don't know why this image is showing up here, but this is a test. So here is the, right now, here's the call for speakers page, and I have yet to complete this part of it until we get, I'm sure that everybody's happy with the description. So that's where we are, but I'm pretty close to finishing the getting the this stuff ready and announced. So here's what it looks like. I have to finish the blog before I can publish the page.
Well, I will coordinate with you on, because we're going to both be in the website repo at the same time.
Okay.
So I'll coordinate with you because I gotta go in and change a bunch of stuff to do that archive.
So here are the topics. So if you notice over here, there is a section here on submission fields. I can select topic areas, and here are the ones we did from last year. Here are the ones that we talked about this year, and I think the ones in red were the ones that we thought were the most important one. Oh, these were actually titles. So we need to come up with a list of topics. So I think the topics were here. Demos and tutorials for Ortelius version 12. Resources and methods for vulnerability detection. I think this is a bit redundant because this could be resources and methods for post-deployment vulnerability detection. We did something on MCP servers, challenges and solutions, meeting CRA and CISA vulnerability requirements, and post-deployment tooling architecture. We decided we wanted to be 15-minute talks, and I have the job of finding a keynote, which I'll work on. I think these are a lot of topics, and I'm thinking maybe we should take one or two out and get it down to maybe 5 instead of 10.
I think the bottom one, and because you have tools listed twice. It's weird with the page break. Resources and methods is kind of a redundant with the last one.
Okay, let's just do resource and tooling.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great.
And then your post-deployment vulnerability detection, the third one you can get rid of because that's redundant. Other one above it. Well, you down to 6?
5, which we just said.
No. Oh yeah, 5. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does that look like some good topics there, everybody? I'm not sure about this one. Challenges and solutions for tracking endpoint deployment drift. I would say something like, let's just take it out. We don't have to have it.
Yeah, I think that one's. I think it was also too specific, so.
I think this is a good way to say this. Reason.
Well,
sense, reason,
react,
and act. AI models for continuous threat exposure management. That's pretty specific. We could just do it like this. And if we wanted to, we could jump on this thing, this CTIM, continuous threat exposure management.
Yeah, I think those five, I think they're general enough now. So
Probably too general. We want to keep it in our wheelhouse, right?
yeah.
Okay. Tony, and I read through our agenda notes in the past, and the one thing you really were focused on is to keeping it within the post-deployment.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a good call because we've been a little too broad in the past. Do you think that this covers, because this one's on tooling, one's on AI models, one's on this new title, and one's on, the CRA and CISA requirements.
That feels right to me. If we're reducing the number of talks, can we give them a little more time each?
Well, this is just the high level topics, the categories. So
Mm-hmm.
Want to give it
we're
20?
So well, the problem is I find that a 15-minute talk, it's really hard to say much at all.
Well, I've done some of these lightning talks, and I have to say that my lightning talks are always much better than my 30 or the 40-minute talks. We get down to
Okay,
the
well,
brass tack.
in that case, we just have to be sure people are really quite focused. I mean,
But
15-minute talks,
how about, could we do 20?
well, if you think in terms of people are presenting, if they're presenting slides, 20-minute talk is between 4 and 5 slides. So,
Possibly, yes.
yeah, and generally you figure 3 to 5 minutes a slide, so you could potentially do a little more, but you've got to be super disciplined.
And that's why the talks end up being better.
Yeah, so if people are very disciplined, then good.
well, and also they'll be pre-recorded, so
Hmm.
they'll be able to, if they want to, go ahead and edit it and trim out some of the slower parts. They'll be able to.
Okay, so let's just think about what the time frame is. Okay, so we have basically we go from 9 to 12. We have 3 hours. The first 30 minutes. So I'll just do it this way. 9 to 9:30 is beer and donuts, everybody's favorite. And so that puts then a keynote. 9:30 to 10 is our keynote. So that is 2 hours then that we have of talks. So that is 6 talks in all. So 15 minutes gives us 8 people talking.
I would, in a session, I would put 15 to 20 minutes and see how many people we get. So if we get,
I'll just do 20 minutes each for 6 talks in all. Now, if we wanted, we could extend this for 30 minutes. I hate to go too much longer. We could go till 1.
no, I think that's too long.
I'd be cautious about doing that. People have so many things going on in their days.
I think 3 hours is a good, anything over 3 hours,
3 hours
I think is stretching it.
agree with Steve.
So we will end up then with hopefully at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one talk in each of these categories, and one category will have two talks. And we could this one for 15 minutes. You actually can do really good demos in 15 minutes. I would say not tutorials though. This one you could do in 15 or 20 minutes, no problem. A description of resources, you could definitely do it. This one may be a little harder because it gets deeper. Well, let's just see what we get with these topics and we'll go from there. But our goal should be 6 speakers plus our keynote for a half-day event. And we'll see where it goes from there. I'll get this stuff as soon as everybody gives me an approval on that doc, on this to make sure it feels right. I'll go ahead and get it published and start pushing it out through Sessionize to see if what kind of talks we can get.
So how do you want us to indicate approval?
Just by going in and giving me any comments, and if there's any comments, then I'll resolve the comments. And if you don't have any comments, I'll wait until like this Friday, and if all is well, I'll get the blog published. So if all is good, you could actually put a comment and say +1 on this doc. But if there's something in here that I need to change, or you want to add something, just go ahead and add it.
So I put a comment in the chat. It looks fine to me.
Okay, super. Thank you.
And
Looks
yes,
good to
I
me
did
too.
read it.
I love it when teams work this fast. It's like, yay, I can get things done.
I was reading a bit of it too, and I was like, "No, this.
Yeah.
I think this thing's. Yeah, it looks great."
Okay. I've got to jump to my next meeting, so I'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you,
definitely.
Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
So here will be the topics. Make those smaller. And then who should attend, I'll take from the last blog we did. And I'm thinking it's going to be platform engineers, DevOps engineers, app developers, CISO. Probably application. Developer project managers. Anybody else in that list? I'll just say security engineers.
Should someone like CTOs be there too?
Probably not.
Okay.
It would be nice if they showed up, but it's not likely that they would because they're not going to.
Okay.
They oftentimes don't get down into the nitty gritty anymore.
Okay.
They're more worried about budgets.
I'm just wondering,
Yeah.
is stack engineering still relevant in 2026 though? Because nowadays, I think people are using AI in each phases of life cycle. Feels like for me is now you have a developer actually can carry through all the way to the testing as well, because a lot of detailed code, test cases using agentic test framework, it's all now going to be by developers using AI to create it. So it feels like for me, the full stack engineering is they are the role, they're coordinating the codes generated by AI.
So is there a title that I'm missing?
A full stack engineer, or I don't, a developer,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, full stack
Yeah, that's
engineer,
work.
because yeah,
We'll just call this application developers.
mhm.
Jim, would you mind if I followed you on Medium?
Sure. Sorry.
So that's
I'm
works,
also on Medium.
platform, DevOps, full stack, application developers, security engineers, and project management.
Yep.
Okay. Then I pretty much almost have this blog done. And and everybody's okay with this image?
Yeah, it looks
Yeah, this
cool.
is really good though.
Good.
Yeah.
Tracy, you're
Great.
doing excellent job. Yeah.
Oh, Jane, thank you.
Yeah, so nice to coloring. I always love colorful, but this is
Yeah, me
so
too.
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay. Do I have everything in here? The June 25th, 11 to 1 Eastern, a free online event hosted by the Ortelius community. I probably should put the register at somewhere. Might help. Let me see, somewhere I should put in here. Learn more at ortelius.io. Right? Tell them where to go. Kind of missed that.
Oh, yeah. No, that would be great there. Yeah. That's not PowerPoint you're using, hey, Tracy?
Oh, this is Adobe, an old version of
Oh,
Adobe
Adobe.
that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't think very many people use this anymore because they fix it, but they haven't done any enhancements. But even if they did the enhancements, I probably wouldn't know how to use them. It's
Oh,
pretty
no,
basic.
it looks nice. Yeah. No, I just like it
It,
because layers make a lot of sense. I like the layers that you can use.
yes, because like for example, like I played with this image for a while,
Mm.
and this image looked
Yeah,
better than this image, I thought.
yeah, it's very cool.
More colorful, right?
Mm. Yeah, I prefer your
Yeah,
Yeah,
dawning of a
it
new
will draw
era.
people's eyes. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I agree.
All right, then this is looking pretty good then.
And perfect timing with sending people to moon as well.
That's what I thought too. I thought
Yes,
so
it's
too.
true.
Everybody's
Ast
now looking focused on that. So yeah,
Astronauts
Yeah.
are
great
finally
timing.
cool again, right?
Mm,
Astronauts, people want to be kids are going to want to be astronauts again.
Sheesh, I would love
definitely.
to have done that.
No,
Yeah.
I'd have been chicken shit. There's no way you're going to put me in a tiny little capsule and shoot me into the air.
I also would have been up too, but it would make, can you imagine being up there? It must be amazing.
The
Yeah.
I
view must
know.
be amazing, but what
It
you
mu
have to be trained to get there, that's all.
I
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I would have done well with that occupation. There's no doubt. I wouldn't mind being on the ground control system, but I think being
Oh,
inside
that would
that.
also be cool. Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I watched them take off, and I'm like, whoa. That must be so scary.
I'd love to experience no gravity though. That must be pretty cool.
It must be amazing, right? Really,
Yeah.
must be super amazing. All right, guys. I think I got a plan. So I'm just gonna bug everybody. Let's get some blogs in there so we have new content. Especially since Steve's going to be cleaning up these old ones. So really want to be able to have new blogs for 2026.
Cool.
And if you haven't read this one, this covers the new architecture that Steve's working on.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it gives an idea of what that sensing, reasoning, and acting, and how the LLM is going to be does the reasoning, but the acting is done by the Ortelius MCP server, and make sure that the human's in the loop. So it's a really interesting model, and I hope that we can get. I'll be bugging Steve to start putting together a. We've already pretty much done the sensing. Phase 1 is done. The reasoning and the acting are the 2 levels that we're going to have to work on. So hopefully I'll get, when Steve gets done cleaning up the repo, maybe we can get some pull requests out there so people can work on it.
Ah, so you chose Quen. Yeah, that's a good reasoning model, right? If I remember correctly.
For running it local, it does a pretty good job. But the interesting part I ran into is if you go from a 7 billion to a 14 billion, the 14 billion one doesn't do as well as the 7 billion because
Interesting.
it starts to think it wanders, put it that way. So the 7 billion it's been trained tighter for coding changes.
Yeah, makes sense.
Now, if you go now, when you skip the local and you go right to like a Claude Sonnet, Claude has no problem with it. You know, Sonnet's what 120 billion or 200 billion parameter. So those hosted LLMs can handle it a lot more, but when you're dealing with a local LLM, that 7 billion one seemed to work pretty well.
Mm,
And
very
that's
cool.
just running on my my little PC that has not a very it's like a built-in GPU into the NVIDIA graphics card, so it's not like a dedicated GPU. So it does
You
a
mean
lot
your
of
little mini data center that you showed us
yeah,
that sits on your desk?
yeah. And I actually did look that
That
you
thing's
can
cool,
add
man.
on to that external GPUs. But it was going to be to build a capable GPU, external GPU. It's going to be like $1,500.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
lot.
which was a lot for what I needed to do, and it's just cheaper to buy tokens from Anthropic.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So, anybody have anything else? Alrighty, thank you, everybody.
All right. Yep. Appreciate it. Looking forward to the blogs. If you need help, let me know. You can just send
Cool.
them over to me, and if you don't want to, most of you have already done pull requests, and you should do them that way. But if you're having issues, just let me know.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank,
Talk soon.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
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 thank you. Bye.